The great hall on Vara Prime glowed with soft blue light. Tall crystal walls rose high above the floor. Hundreds of seats formed circles around the center. Each seat fit the body of a different alien species. Some were wide for heavy creatures. Some were narrow for thin ones. Some floated in the air for beings without legs. In the middle stood the human group. Only 5 people. Ambassador John Carter led them. He was tall with short gray hair and calm blue eyes. Next to him stood Laura Bennett. She was younger, with dark hair tied back and a sharp look on her face. She carried a small tablet and watched everything. Behind them were 3 aides who said little. The council meeting began with a low hum. A tall being named Thor rose from the highest seat. His skin changed colors like oil on water. He was from the Zorath, the oldest race in the galaxy. His voice came out smooth and deep through a translator. "Today we discuss Earth," Thor said. "The blue world in the Orion Arm. We have watched it for 300 of their years." Screens appeared in the air. They showed pictures of Earth. Cities at night. Rockets lifting off. Wars on old battlefields. People arguing in large rooms. "The humans use chemical rockets," Thor continued. "They burn fuel to move. Slow, dirty, expensive. They have no true faster-than-light drive. They fight among themselves. They pollute their own air and water. They build weapons to kill each other instead of reaching for the stars." Quiet laughter came from some seats. A short furry creature from the Prelin race covered its mouth. A long-necked being from the Thalor nodded slowly. Thor raised one long finger. "We have studied their signals, their music, their stories, their science. All show a young species. Not ready, not advanced, primitive." The word hung in the air like smoke. Primitive. John Carter stood still. His face did not change. Laura Bennett wrote something quickly on her tablet. Her fingers moved fast, but her eyes stayed on Thor. A delegate from the insect-like Vexari spoke next. Its voice clicked like dry sticks. "They have split the atom. They reached their moon. Small steps, but steps. Should we wait longer?" Thor shook his head. "Waiting costs resources. They demand contact. They send messages. They beg for trade. But they offer nothing we need. Their metals are common. Their art is loud. Their food is strange. They are not equals." More nods around the hall. A soft voice came from a glowing jelly-like being in a tank. "Protection status then. We watch, we guide when they grow up, like we did for others." "Yes," Thor said. "Earth will stay under protection. No seat at this table. No vote. No open borders. Their ships stay inside their own system. If they try to leave without permission, we stop them. Gently at first." The screens changed. A red stamp appeared over Earth's picture. The word, "Primitive Protected," flashed in many languages. Thor looked at the humans. "Ambassador Carter, do you wish to speak?" John Carter stepped forward one step. His voice was clear and even. No anger, no fear. "Thank you for your time and your judgment," he said. "We have heard your words. Earth accepts the record of this meeting." That was all. No argument, no angry speech, no begging. The hall went quiet. Some aliens looked surprised. They expected shouting, tears, threats. Humans were known to be emotional, loud. But John just bowed his head a little. Then he turned. Laura and the others followed. They walked out through the wide doors without looking back. Outside the chamber, in a quiet corridor, Laura spoke first. Her voice was low. "They laughed at us." John nodded once. "They did. They think we're children playing with sticks. They do." Laura stopped walking. She looked at John. "And we're just going to leave it like that?" John smiled. It was a small smile, not happy, not sad, just sure. "No," he said, "we're not." They stepped into the shuttle that waited for them. The doors closed. The small ship rose silently and flew toward the human transport waiting in orbit. Back on Earth, it was early morning in a hidden place under the Rocky Mountains. A large room with thick walls, lights that never went out. Screens covered one wall. People sat at tables. Some wore uniforms. Some wore normal clothes. President Daniel Hayes stood at the head of the table. He was in his late 50s. Short brown hair, strong shoulders from years of hard work before politics. He had been an engineer once. He still thought like one. John Carter entered the room. Laura came right behind him. Everyone stood up for a moment, then sat again. Daniel looked at John. How did it go? John placed his hands on the table. They voted. Primitive status, protected zone, no contact, no trade, no travel outside Sol without their okay. A general named Rachel Torres crossed her arms. She had short black hair and a scar on her cheek from an old mission. They said that out loud? Yes, John answered, in front of everyone. Dr. Kevin Brooks leaned forward. He was thin, with messy hair and thick glasses. He ran most of Earth's secret science programs. Did they mention our probes, the ones we sent near their borders? No, John said. They don't know. Kevin let out a breath. Good. Daniel Hayes looked around the room. His eyes stopped on each person. Then he spoke. For 300 years, we listened. We watched. We learned. We stayed quiet. We built in the dark. We tested in secret. We waited. He paused. Now they call us primitive. They lock us in our own yard like pets. He leaned on the table. His voice stayed calm, but every word felt heavy. So we stopped waiting. Rachel Torres smiled a little. You mean? Daniel nodded. Project Eclipse moves to final phase, full speed. No more hiding small steps. We show them what primitive really means. Laura Bennett spoke up. They expect us to be angry, to fight now, to make mistakes. John added, let them think that. Let them feel safe. Daniel straightened up. He looked at the big screen that showed the whole solar system. Tiny lights marked human bases on Mars, the Moon, and hidden stations in the asteroid belt. 2 years, he said. Maybe less. We finish what we started. Then we answer them. Not with words, with proof. The room stayed quiet for a moment. Everyone understood. This was not about revenge. It was about respect. The kind that comes when someone sees you clearly for the first time. John Carter looked at Daniel. What do we tell the people, the ones who don't know yet? Daniel thought for a second. Nothing yet. Let them live normal lives a little longer. But the ones in this room, we know, and we work. He turned to the group. Get to it. People stood up. Chairs moved. Voices became low and busy. Plans, timelines, names of ships, numbers of engines, lists of materials. Outside, the sun rose over the mountains. Normal people woke up, made coffee, went to work. They had no idea. But under the ground, in the quiet light, a world began to change. 2 years passed like a quiet storm. On the surface, Earth looked the same. People went to work. Cars filled the roads. Children played in parks. News talked about weather, sports, and small fights between countries. No one outside the inner circle knew the truth. The big change happened in the shadows. Under the ground in hidden factories, lights burned all day and night. In space, small ships moved without lights. On the dark side of the moon, huge machines worked in silence. Project Eclipse grew fast. It was no longer a dream. It became real. Dr. Kevin Brooks stood in a large room deep under Nevada. The walls were smooth metal. Screens showed spinning models of new engines. Kevin was tired. His eyes were red from lack of sleep, but he smiled when he looked at the main screen. It showed a bright blue ring of plasma. A new fusion drive worked, not just on paper, in tests. It pushed a test ship from 0 to fast in seconds, faster than anything the Council had. This is it, Kevin said to his team. No more slow burns. No more waiting months to reach Mars. We fold the rules a little, not break them, just bend them. A young engineer named Alex Rivera laughed. The council thinks we still use fire to fly. They will be surprised. Kevin nodded. Let them stay surprised. In a different place, high in the Andes Mountains, Laura Bennett worked in a command center built inside an old mine. The air was cold. She wore a thick jacket. Around her, screens showed maps of the solar system. Red dots marked council listening posts. Green dots showed human stealth probes. The probes were small, black, hard to see. They floated near alien ships and listened. Laura pointed at one screen. This probe picked up a council message last week. They are sending another inspection team to Earth next year. They want to check our minds, make sure we follow their rules. A woman next to her, engineer Samantha Ruiz, crossed her arms. Samantha had short hair and strong hands from years of building things. They think we are digging with shovels. They have no idea we already pulled enough rare metals from asteroids to build a fleet. Laura looked at her. We keep it that way. No leaks, no big tests where they can see. Samantha smiled. The new weapons are ready for live tests. Railguns, laser arrays, drones that think for themselves, all hidden in the belt. Laura nodded. We test them soon, quietly. On the moon, in a crater that never saw sunlight, Captain Brian Ellis trained pilots. The base was underground. Big hangars held sleek black fighters. They looked like arrows. No windows, just sensors. The pilots wore suits that connected straight to the ships. No controls by hand. Thoughts moved the craft. Brian stood in the control room. He watched young pilots fly through fake battles on screens. The enemy ships were copies of council designs. Fast, strong shields. But the human pilots danced around them. They moved in ways the council ships could not follow. One pilot finished a run. Her voice came over the speaker. Target down. No damage. Brian spoke into his mic. Good run, Captain Nguyen. Land and debrief. He turned to his second-in-command. They are ready. Better than ready. In Washington, President Daniel Hayes met with his team every week. The meetings happened late at night. The room had no windows, only one door. Guards outside. Daniel looked older now, lines on his face, but his voice stayed strong. John, he said to Ambassador Carter, what do the council say these days? John sat across from him. They still laugh. They sent us a new message last month, a polite reminder. Earth must not build weapons in space, must not leave the system, must report all new tech. They think we listen. Rachel Torres, the general, leaned forward. Our shipyards are almost done. 3 big carriers, 20 support ships, hundreds of fighters, all ready in 6 months. Daniel looked at the map on the wall. It showed the whole galaxy. Tiny human markers sat near council borders, hidden, waiting. We do not attack first, Daniel said. We wait. They will come to us. They always do. When they come, we answer. John nodded. I go back to Vara Prime next month. One more trip. One more polite request for them to change their mind. Laura, who had joined by secure video, spoke up. They will say no, again. John smiled. Yes, and we need them to say no. The months moved fast. More probes went out. More data came in. Human scientists studied council weaknesses. Their shields were strong against energy, weak against fast metal. Their sensors missed small things. Their fleets moved in straight lines. Predictable. One night in the asteroid belt, a test happened. A small drone fired a railgun. The shot traveled so fast it looked like a line of light. It hit an old rock. The rock broke into dust. No explosion. Just gone. Samantha Ruiz watched from her control chair. She whispered, perfect. Back on Earth, normal life went on. A teacher in Chicago taught kids about space. She said humans dreamed of stars but could not reach them yet. The kids believed her. They drew pictures of rockets. A farmer in Iowa looked at the sky at night. He saw more lights moving than before. He thought they were satellites. He was wrong. In Tokyo, a young student worked late in a lab. She helped build tiny parts for new drives. She did not know the full plan, but she felt proud. Everywhere pieces came together, like a machine waking up. John Carter prepared for his trip. He packed one small bag. No weapons, no notes, just calm words. He knew what he would say. The same words as before. Polite, short. On the day he left, Daniel Hayes shook his hand. "Give them one last chance," Daniel said. John looked at him. "They will not take it." Daniel nodded. "Then we are ready." John's shuttle lifted off from a hidden pad in Alaska. It rose into the sky. Then it jumped. Fast, silent, gone. On Vara Prime, the council waited. They expected the same weak humans, the same quiet bows. They had no idea. In the dark of space, human ships waited too. Engines warm, weapons cold, crews calm. 2 years of secret work. 2 years of building. 2 years of silence. The first sign came without noise. A council fleet jumped into the outer edge of the Sol system. 5 large ships, dark gray hulls, sharp angles. They moved in perfect formation. At the front flew the flagship, heavy and slow. Its name was Pride of Laron. Admiral Vera stood on the bridge. She was tall, with green scales and yellow eyes. She liked order. She liked control. Vera opened a channel to Earth. Her voice filled every screen on the planet that could receive it. Even old radios picked it up. "People of Earth," she said, "this is Admiral Vera of the Galactic Council Enforcement Fleet. By order of the Council, your world is primitive. You are under protection. You will now supply us with rare minerals, iridium, platinum, neodymium. You will mine them. You will load them onto our transports. You will do this every cycle. If you refuse, we will take what we need. We will leave your city standing, but only if you obey." On Earth, people froze. In living rooms, in offices, in schools, they stared at screens. Some thought it was a prank. Others felt cold fear. But in the hidden bunkers, no one panicked. President Daniel Hayes sat in the command room under Colorado. Screens showed the fleet, red icons. He looked calm. He pressed a button. "John," he said, "you are up." Ambassador John Carter was already in space. He sat on the bridge of the new flagship Endurance. The ship was big, black, smooth, no bright lights. It waited behind Jupiter, hidden by the gas giant's shadow. John opened the reply channel. His face appeared on every council ship screen. His voice was quiet, clear. "Admiral Vera, this is Ambassador John Carter of Earth. We thank you for your message." He paused. "Earth declines." Her tail flicked. "You decline? You are primitive. You have no choice." John smiled. Small, polite. "We have a choice, and we made it." Vera laughed. It sounded like breaking glass. "Then we begin pacification. Your moon bases will be first, then your stations, then your world." She cut the channel. Her fleet moved forward. Engines glowed blue. They aimed for the asteroid belt. That was when it started. From the dark between the rocks, small shapes appeared. Thousands of them. Tiny drones, no bigger than cars, black, silent. They had no engines that glowed. They used cold gas thrusters, hard to track. The drones rushed the council ships, fast, like angry bees. Council point defense guns fired. Bright beams cut through space. Some drones exploded in silent flashes. But most dodged. They twisted. They turned. They learned. One drone reached the side of a council cruiser. It attached. Then another. Then 10. They drilled small holes. Not big, just enough. Inside, tiny charges went off. Not to destroy, to blind. Sensors died. Weapons froze. Vera stared at her screens. Half her formation blinked red. "What are these things?" she shouted. Her weapons officer answered. "Unknown. Small. Fast. No energy signature we recognize. From Luna, Laura Bennett watched. She sat in a dark room, many screens around her. Her voice stayed calm. Phase 1 complete. Drones have disabled engines on 3 ships. Proceed to Phase 2. Captain Brian Ellis led the fighter wings. His voice came over the comms. All wings, engage. Black fighters slipped out from hidden bays on Ceres. They looked thin, sharp, like knives. They moved in packs, not straight lines. They curved. They spun. They used moves the Council had never seen. One pack attacked a Council destroyer. They fired railguns. Thin streaks of metal flew at high speed. They'd punch through shields like paper. Not explosions, just clean holes. Systems failed. Lights went dark. Vera's flagship shook. A hit. Not bad, but enough. Shields at 70%, her officer said. Vera gripped her chair. Target their main world. Fire main battery. The big gun on Pride of Lauren charged. Blue light built up. It aimed at Earth. Before it fired, something new happened. Endurance decloaked right in front of the flagship. Close. Too close. The human ship was bigger than they thought. Sleek, black. No visible weapons at first. Then panels opened. Rows of guns. Not lasers. Not plasma. Railguns. Dozens. They fired together. The shots hit Pride of Lauren hard. Shields flared white, then cracked. Pieces of armor flew off. The ship tilted. Vera's bridge filled with red lights. Alarms screamed. Impossible, she whispered. John's voice came back on channel. Calm, same as before. Admiral, your fleet is disabled. Your flagship is damaged. We have not destroyed you. We could have, we chose not to. Vera looked at her screens. Every ship in her fleet drifted, engines dark, weapons silent, fighters circled them like guards. John continued. This is your warning. Earth is not primitive. Earth is ready. Leave our system. Do not return without invitation. Next time, we do not hold back. Vera stared at John's face. No anger, no hate. Just fact. Her scales paled a little. Very well, she said. Her voice shook only a little. We will withdraw. John nodded once. Good choice. The Council ships turned. Slow, painful. They limped toward the jump point. Endurance and the fighters watched. No chase, no extra shots. On Earth, people started to understand. News channels broke the story. Not panic, not fear, pride. Videos showed the black ships, the small drones, the big flagship standing between them and the fleet. In the command room, Daniel Hayes stood up. He looked at his team. That was the opening move, he said. They know now. Rachel Torres smiled. They know we can hurt them. Laura's voice came over the speaker from Luna. Admiral Vera sent a tight beam message to Vara Prime as they left. They are reporting full defeat. No Council losses in lives, but total loss of control. Kevin Brooks laughed softly. They thought we had sticks. We showed them steel. John Carter stayed on the bridge of Endurance. He looked out at the stars. The galaxy was big. The Council was old, powerful. But Earth had spoken, and the Council had listened. For the first time, the Council chamber on Vara Prime felt different now. The crystal walls still glowed blue. The seats still held strange bodies. But the air was thick with worry. No one laughed. No one joked. Delegates stared at the big screens in the center. The screens showed red alerts, damaged ships, lost control. A fleet sent to teach a lesson had come home broken. Cale Thor stood in his high seat. His color shifted slowly, not bright, dull, like old oil. He tried to speak calm. His voice cracked a little. We have received the report from Admiral Vera, he said. The human response was unexpected. Their weapons are advanced. Their ships move in ways we did not predict. They showed mercy. They could have destroyed the fleet. They did not. A delegate from the Prelin race stood up, small, furry, angry. Mercy? They humiliated us. A primitive world pushed back our ships like toys. Murmurs rose. Some agreed. Some looked scared. Kael'thor raised his hand. We must respond. We cannot let this stand. But before he finished, new alarms sounded. Soft beeps turned loud. Screens flashed. More red icons appeared. Not in the Sol system, in Council space. A supply depot near the edge of Thalor territory went dark. Then another. 3 in a row. All gone quiet. No explosion, no fight, just silent. An analyst from the Zorath race spoke fast. Reports coming in. Human ships appeared without warning. They struck the depots, took nothing, destroyed nothing big, just disabled the power cores. The stations drift now, useless. The chamber went still. How? A Vexari delegate clicked. Our borders are guarded, sensors everywhere. The analyst looked down. They used a new drive. Not our warp, not our fold. Something else. Strike. Jump out. Gone in seconds. Kael'thor gripped the edge of his seat. Where are they now? Screens changed. Live feeds. A human fleet. Not big. 10 ships. Black. Sleek. They hung in space above a council mining world called Corin 7. No attack yet. Just waiting. John Carter's face appeared on every screen in the chamber. Broadcast on open channel. Everyone could hear. This is Ambassador John Carter of Earth, he said. His voice stayed even. We come in peace. We want no war. But we will not be treated as less. Your council called us primitive. You sent ships to take from us. We answered. Now we show more. He paused. Look at your depots. Look at your stations. We can reach any place. We can stop any supply. We choose not to destroy. We choose to warn. Again. The feed cut. Silence filled the chamber. Kael'thor turned to his aides. Get me details on that drive. An old Zoroth scientist stepped forward. Thin, slow, wise. We studied their signals years ago. We thought they were crude. We missed things. They took our old tech from probes we lost near their system. They improved it. They made it better, faster, cleaner. Our models said it was impossible. They proved the models wrong. Gasps, whispers. Kael'thor closed his eyes for a moment. How long have they hidden this? The scientist answered quiet. Decades, maybe more. They waited, they watched, they built. On the bridge of Endurance, John Carter looked at his crew. Laura Bennett stood next to him. She checked datapads. Captain Brian Ellis waited at the fighter controls. General Rachel Torres coordinated from a side screen. Next target? John asked. Laura pointed. A trade hub near the Lauren home system. Not the planet, just the hub. Disable the docking rings. No lives lost. John nodded. Do it. Endurance jumped. Space folded around the ship. No flash, no sound, just gone. Seconds later, it appeared above the trade hub. Other human ships arrived at the same time. Different places, same moment. Railguns spoke, short bursts, precise, docking arms bent, power failed, ships drifted free. Traders panicked, but no one died. Back on Vara Prime, the chamber watched in horror. One delegate fainted, another cried out. We must stop them, the Prelin shouted. Kael'thor spoke low. We cannot, not yet. He opened a channel to Endurance. His face appeared on John's screen. Ambassador Carter, Kael'thor said, we request talks, immediate, here, on Vara Prime. John looked straight at him. We accept, but on our terms. No weapons, no tricks, and the primitive label ends, now. Kael'thor bowed his head. First time anyone saw that. Agreed. John turned to his crew. Prepare shuttle. Laura, you come with me. Brian, keep the fleet ready, just in case. Laura nodded. They are scared. Good. The shuttle left Endurance. Small, white, no guns showing. It flew to Vara Prime, landed soft on the crystal pad. John and Laura stepped out. No guards met them, only Kael'thor and a few others. They walked in silence to the chamber. Inside, the seats were full. Every delegate watched, no sound. Laura beside him. "You asked for talks," John said. "Here we are." Kael'thor spoke. "We underestimated you. We see that now. Your technology, your patience, your strength. We offer alliance, equal terms, a seat for Earth, trade, knowledge." John looked around, slow, at every face. "We do not want your seat as a gift," he said. "We want respect, real respect. You will remove the protection status. You will open your borders to us, same as we open ours. No quotas, no control, and you will never call any world primitive again, not without proof." Murmurs, some angry, some nodding. Kael'thor looked tired. "We accept." John gave a small nod. "Then it is done." He turned to leave. Laura followed. But Kael'thor spoke again. "Wait, one question. Why did you wait so long? Why hide?" John stopped, looked back. "Because we wanted to be sure," he said. "Sure that when we spoke, you would listen. Not because we forced you, but because you had no choice." He walked out. The shuttle rose, flew back to Endurance. In the chamber, silence lasted long. Then quiet talk started. Plans, changes, new rules. Out in space, human ships pulled back, not gone, just waiting, watching. The galaxy felt smaller now, and different. Earth had not conquered. Earth had answered. And the old council learned something new. Power is not always loud. Sometimes it waits. The crystal chamber on Vara Prime felt smaller now. Delegates sat quiet. No one moved much. Eyes stayed on the center floor. The air smelled clean but heavy. Everyone waited. John Carter walked in alone this time. No shuttle guards, no weapons. Just him in a simple dark suit. Laura Bennett stayed on Endurance. She watched from the bridge, ready if needed. Kael'thor stood up from his high seat. His colors were soft gray today, not bright, not proud. He looked older. "Ambassador Carter," he said, "the council has voted. We remove the primitive label from Earth. We end protection status. We open borders, trade, travel, knowledge, all equal, no quotas, no control." He paused. "We offer a seat, permanent, with full voice, full vote." The chamber stayed silent. No cheers, no anger, just listening. John looked around slow, at the tall Zorath, the small Prelin, the clicking Vexari, the glowing ones in tanks, faces from dozens of worlds. "We accept the seat," John said, "but not as a favor, as equals. Earth will share what we built. Fusion drives, space folding, adaptive weapons, medical tech, food growth in hard places. We give it freely to those who ask with respect." He stepped forward one step. "But hear this clear. Threaten any world, threaten us, and we respond again, not with anger, with fact. We protect what is ours, and we protect those who stand with us." Kael'thor bowed his head low. Understood. A quiet voice came from the side, an old Thalor delegate, long neck, slow words. "Why did you not destroy us when you could?" John turned to him. "Because destruction is easy," he said. "Building is hard. We spent centuries building in secret. We learned from you. We improved. We waited until the moment was right. Not to kill, to be seen." The delegate nodded slow. "We see you now." John smiled small. "Good." He turned to leave, but stopped. "One more thing," he said. "The council records. Change them. No more primitive words for any young world. Judge by actions, not age, not tools, by what they do when tested." Kael'thor agreed. "It will be done." John walked out, the doors closed soft behind him. His shuttle lifted, rose into the sky, joined Endurance in orbit. On the bridge, Laura waited. She looked at him. "How did it go?" John sat in his chair. "Done." She smiled. First real smile in years. They listened. They had to. Endurance turned, jumped, space folded, back to Sol. Earth looked the same from high orbit, blue, green, white clouds, but different now. In the bunker under Colorado, President Daniel Hayes stood with his team. Screens showed the council vote, live. The stamp over Earth's picture changed, from red, primitive, protected, to green, member, equal. Daniel let out a long breath. Rachel Torres clapped him on the back. We did it. Kevin Brooks pushed up his glasses. The drives, the ships, all worth it. Daniel looked at them all. This is not the end, he said. This is the start. We join a bigger place, with old friends and old enemies. We stay ready, we stay kind, but we stay strong. People nodded. Outside, normal life went on, but news spread fast now. Open. In New York, people gathered in streets, watched big screens, saw John speak, heard the words, equal, respect. A young girl pulled her father's hand. Dad, are we really in the stars now? He smiled. We always were, just waiting for them to notice. In a small town in Texas, an old man sat on his porch, looked at the sky, saw new lights move, human ships, guarding, not hiding. He raised his coffee cup. About time. On Mars, workers in domes cheered. They built cities there, now open, no more secret. In the asteroid belt, miners laughed, their stations no longer hidden. They waved at passing council ships, polite waves. Back on Vara Prime, Kale Thor sat alone in his chamber after the meeting. He looked at old records, pictures of Earth from long ago, small rockets, wars, struggles. He closed the file. Patient, he whispered. They were patient. He turned off the light. In space near Sol, Endurance floated quiet. John stood at the big window, stars everywhere. Laura joined him. What now? She asked. John looked out. Now we live in it. The galaxy, not as guests, not as children, as equals. He turned to her. And we keep building, keep learning, keep watching. She nodded. The ship moved slow, toward home. Earth turned below, bright, alive. A new age began, not with fire, not with noise, with quiet strength. The council learned something that day. Humans do not shout when strong. They wait, they answer, and when they answer, the stars listen.